Kickin' It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kickin' It with Andy. Kickin' It with Andy.
Check, check. Do we have sound now? Do we have sound now? Thank you guys. You gotta love technology at its finest. Always failing at the last minute. We're good to go now. Let's do it.
Kicking It with Andy.
What is going on, everyone? This is Tuesday, the Kickin' It with Andy show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry about the audio mishap in the beginning there. Doing a lot of switching around here, getting everything running really good now. And goodness gracious, thank God for StreamYard, always messing something up. It tried putting out the audio through the ATM Mini. That's why you didn't hear me. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Kickin' It with Andy show. And of course, do not forget to enter the giveaway. Kicker.com/UMweekly. Get some cool stuff. EB400s, Tabor 2s, and Cush NCs, man. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys so much. William, hey. Kickin' It, Kicker, Unmasked with Andy. You're a rock star. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for always tuning in, Will. You are always here, and you're always on time, too. Unlike Deviant, who's always late. But thank you so much for tuning in and being a supporter of this channel. Yes, of course, the loose wire. You know, man, troubleshooting. That's going to be another one. I did a little show about troubleshooting, but goodness gracious, could I get into that? You always have to go to the basics. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I go to StreamYard, and I'm like, it's StreamYard. And the same thing with the computer this weekend between SJC, Corey, and Baba. We got it running pretty good for now. Just a little bump in the road. But hey, look at this thing. It looks awesome, and it's running good now, so I cannot complain. I've been trying to make every show. Thank you, man. You know, it's cool to be able to do this for you guys and talk about really cool things. And this is Ray Tyler from Kicker Club. And Daniel, again, thank you for letting me know my audio was off there. I was like, oh no, wait, what? Oh no. All right, guys. So today's topic is just pretty much the basic kind of stuff of either getting into car audio or maybe just the average consumer. You know, I'm not talking people that are competitors that go to states and worlds every year. This is just literally for anybody, and you can use this information for more than just kind of car audio, but it really just, that's the cool thing about this. The more I do this, the more it makes sense with other things in life. You know, sometimes you get what you pay for, and that couldn't be any more true. So let's start off with, let me pull this up here. I've been having to redo everything with the computer mishap and all this other stuff, and then the internet literally went out 20 minutes before I had to go live. Not kidding. Every problem I could have is happening, but we are here, and it's working. SJC, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that you guys are here. All right, so let's pull this up here. The top 5 important things to know in car audio. Now, you could go a lot deeper into what is important and what is not so important, but we're not going to go there. We're going to skim the surface, and if you guys have any other things that are important that you think that I've missed, let me know down in the comments. I want to hear about it. And you know what? I seen this. Someone commented on this on something else. I think it was on the post of the show for letting you guys know when it's going to be live. Someone was like electrical, and I'm like, you know what? That's something that I didn't cover, but that is so key, and that's like level 2 stuff, because you gotta plan. And speaking of planning, that is the first thing. And there's more to it, and this is not the most important thing, because you have to know other things as well, but you have to plan. If you do not plan and do, I don't even know, kind of map out what you're doing, but that's what is really important. Mapping it out, thinking about what you're doing, planning ahead. And there's a lot into it with, you know, learning about things. And that's another one that's very important to know. Be in the know, research the products. You know, yes, you want to plan ahead, but then you have to know what you're doing with that plan. If that makes any kind of sense to you guys. You know, because it's just like, you got to look at things and be like, all right, let me do some research on this product. Let me go watch a few YouTubers. Let me go read a few blogs or whatever. Internet, use it. It's the best tool that you could get. And honestly, you know, you can learn so much by just sitting there, Googling, looking at something, and maybe comparing it. Talk to your friends. Make Facebook posts. I mean, sometimes if you put a post in some Facebook groups, things can go a little sideways. But at the end of the day, you know, you can get some pretty solid answers in some pretty cool groups, and that's why I love to take care of the Kicker Club so it doesn't go sideways like a lot of groups can. Appreciate all you guys in here. We got Kibo, SJC. Is Deviant here? Deviant is here, so I guess the show can start now officially. 25 tried starting a show, but it doesn't work that way. 25. Kibo, SJC finally got the cables I need for the RTA. You know, I seen a video where Kicker actually showed how to make a DIY RTA on the budget. Google and YouTube know everything, and that cannot be more true. You know, and it's just, that is why we are really spoiled in today's age, you know, with just this kind of stuff here, where you can learn about things, and, you know, it's just, it makes life a lot easier. But the next thing that I want to talk about, I want to go, I don't want to bounce around, but there's so many of these that have a similarity with another. Experiment. Obviously, you don't want to experiment with something that's very expensive. Try smaller gear. You know, I cannot be more fortunate in my position of life to where I am kind of now, but then, because just of the simple fact that, you know, I literally learned on very cheap entry equipment, kind of learned what worked and what didn't. And we got a super chat from Deviant. Thank you, Deviant. Andy be like his P.O. Box 144 available. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you guys are here, man. You know, and it's just, you know, with the expensive stuff, you can get better results. You know, everybody wants that big woofer. Everybody wants that big amplifier. But then just like that other guy commented on here earlier saying electrical, you got to know, what kind of power you need for some type of setup or whatever. And that's where we go back to the step 2 is research, be in the know, learn how things work. Ever since, I got this computer, I've been looking up YouTube stuff about everything with computers. And you know how that chart goes, Once you get into something, you think you know it all, and then how much you really know, and how much you feel like you know, and all that. So it's funny, but at the same time, that's the pinnacle of learning something, and you're excited about it. So you're like constantly wanting to learn more about it. And that's kind of what you have to do with car audio, just like anything. That's why I said, in the beginning, this is not just car audio, but that's what we're basing it off of, because that's what it is. And it's just, man, if you can experiment with something that if you don't care if it blows, if it's cheaper to just buy another one instead of recoating it, or using a cheaper type of wood, MDF, instead of, 13 ply Baltic birch, and staining it, and then being like, oh, well, this box doesn't sound that great. Maybe I shouldn't use the very expensive wood. So experiment and learn with not expensive products. I can't stress it enough, and it's just, man, I'm happy that I didn't have a lot of money in the beginning to buy a lot of stuff, because I probably would have. And, you might not learn that way. It's almost funner to learn with the less expensive equipment because then when you get results that are really good, you're ecstatic. You're like, man, this does a 140 on 2 entry subs on 500 watts. Man, I'm loud, and it's just, I think you take a little bit more away from it, rather than, oh, I got 618s and my buddy built my wall and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing a 62 or a 60. And it's just like, yeah, but what did you really take from it? It's almost like that, the blood, sweat, and tears. it makes you feel good at night. I swear it does. All right, so let me scroll down here. Again, Deviant, thank you so much, man. Yes, it was a little sprinkle there, 25, but it was early. That's what happens. Sometimes we get sprinkles, and sometimes it comes out to be an entire downpour. It goes insane sometimes, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Every cent matters. Dudes, do not forget Koss for the win. Koss and Boss, man. If they would team up, I think Koss could be good again. They could be good again. William. In the 80s, kids had to learn with trial and error. No Google, no YouTube, no internet in the 80s. And I totally agree with that, man. You learn the hard way, and it takes longer to do so. So, yes, you can learn a lot by someone else's mistakes. Big time. Now, it's not going to be the same as you making that mistake, but 9 chances out of 10, you can get the same kind of answer with someone else's mistake or their review and their info on the product, and it saves so much time. And it's crazy how fast you can advance in learning on any type of subject or just whatever with Google, YouTube, and learning about this stuff. And there's plenty of YouTubers in car audio. Whenever I first got into this, that's why I kind of just stuck with the streaming. I'm like, that's my kind of niche, I'm not this amp dyno guy. Yes, I can amp dyno. I'm not this SPL guy. Yes, I can do some SPL tests. I'm not this one particular, here's a bunch of information and I'm going to give it to you in a way that satisfies. I'm not technically that guy either. I try to just be myself, and there are so many other YouTubers out there that to give you that kind of content that you need. So if you're not learning something, it's kind of on you of why you're not, you rather look at some TikTok videos than some educational. And I'm not talking about boring educational. I'm talking about Bill Nye the Science Guy, fun educational videos on YouTube. Us YouTubers, we try to do our best to feed you knowledge and have a good time. And those are the people that you need to be watching, man. And it's a shame, but we live in an era now that is, we are spoiled. Simple as that, man. Appreciate everyone here. We got almost 40 people in tonight. I was like, man, there's only 20 people watching. I'm sorry I'm that boring, guys. Nah, appreciate you guys. Again, make sure you enter the link. I keep dropping it into the comments on YouTube, Facebook, everything, and it's scrolling on the bottom of the page as always. You can enter more than once because it's rigged. No, you can enter more than once by doing the little clicks and the check downs, and check it out. Make sure you guys win some cool stuff, the Tabor 2s and the Cush NCs. Whew. I feel like I'm a little bit better now. Whenever I came up here with the internet not working, computer issues, and then just everything, I'm like, audio, God, no more problems. I'm over it. I'm over it. Appreciate you guys so much that are tuning in. We got Garrett Claridge. Thank you for tuning in, man. Love your content. You're an awesome dude. Appreciate you. Experiment on other people's rides. And you know what? That is so true, because whenever I run these SPL shows, you know, from 2016 and on, and it's just, I've learned so much by their mistakes. by their mistakes and their successfulness in the lane. You know, looking at what kind of builds work with what type of power, what type of enclosure, you know, and when you're sitting there in a computer, you see it a little bit more than, you know, the guy just standing there, unless you're the guy that's standing there from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. But right, man, you know, with other people, they can teach you so much. Sorry, I got that product displacement on there. Ew, man, hangnail from heck. So anyway, appreciate you guys. I forgot to switch that off, but that's okay. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate all you guys that are here. We got Speedway 3 Audio. Thank you for tuning in. Back in the late 70s, we had to reverse engineer stereo installs in cars we stole. I mean, hey, more power to you. Reverse it. I can't. You know, I'm surprised, you know, how car audio started. You know, I would say in the 70s is more probably when it really started to kind of take off, you know, of like different types of, you know, amplified radios that are louder than the stock. You know, it wasn't just your 8-track or your AM radio and your Bel Air or whatever. But right, it's just crazy how far this stuff goes back and what people were doing then. And, you know, it's also crazy of how a lot of the companies started right around Kicker did. You know, what was it? Rock Fosgate, JL, not JL, JL's 90, 89 or something like that. Pioneer, you know, and it's just cool to recognize that. And those are the brands that you see today, you know, and you can have your opinion on them. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they worth it? But they've been around since day one. And every situation's different, man, but it's just cool to, you know, hear about stuff back then. You know, I kind of wish that I was around back then to experiment that, get in my DeLorean, but there's no Google or YouTube, so I'm not going to learn much. So would I want to be there? I don't know. Appreciate you guys so much. Got to appreciate where you are when you are. David Koslick with a $20 super chat. He's telling you guys twice a week, hit the like, and sometimes more on other podcasts too. I see him everywhere. Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate you. Love you, buddy. We got Cornut up in here. Thank you for tuning in, Cornut. Got a new keyboard to match all the fancy lights. Conair, Corsair mouse, Corsair. I like the product display. It's real fast. Corsair keyboard and a couple other things on the side. Thank you so much, Cornut. Just so we got some matching lights, and it looks cool, man. It looks really good. Check that out. We got the lights right there, everything going up and down. Look at this. Check this out. Electric table. I actually purchased this on my own because I'm like, man, we are going crazy with this display and this setup. We can't spare no expense. You know, we just have to make sure everything's perfect, and it looks beautiful, guys. It really does. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Again, David, thank you for a super chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we're going to get on to the next thing in a second here. Again, make sure you enter the contest, guys. Nick L, hey, what is up, dude? I think you're the guy that's local to me that I helped with the Black Panther build. Thank you for tuning in, man. I've seen you tune in before, but I didn't recognize names. It's so hard, man. Names, I'm better at names, and, you know, I don't know. Faces, I'll never forget. Names will slip right past me sometimes. All right, let me scroll back down here, catch right back up, and then we're going to get to the next part. I mean, it's just everything goes together. You know, it's not like, oh, this is more important than this. It's just kind of everything. You know, and it's kind of something that I would want to tell somebody if they're just getting into car audio and they're looking for something, you know. And I see it because, like, I'm not always looking to learn things about car audio per se of, like, the entry level of stuff. I mean, I do a podcast. I should know a little bit. And so looking into this computer stuff, I'm seeing it, and it's like, man, that is what you need to look for when you're trying to learn about something, and kind of dig deep into it so that you know more than you should. It's better to know more than not enough. Annie, the giveaway isn't working correctly. That is because we blocked your IP address, Bobby. No more winning from you, sir. We're trying to get 25 in Deviant, but they got something blocking us. We can't do that. So, but we got Bobby. No more. Just kidding, bud. Thanks for tuning in, man. Jay Lee, thank you for your comment and tuning in. Want to try a square sub? Would you suggest the L7R or the L7S? Man, I love me some L7Ss, but the L7Rs are nothing to sneeze at. And if you're trying to get away with maybe around the same amount of output but on less power, go with the L7Rs, man. They're lighter, they're more efficient, they're lower power handling, and there's some pros and cons with each of what kind of enclosure they're going to sound good in, and they're, just what kind of ranges that you can throw them in, and what kind of sound that they're going to give back to you. There's a lot of variables with each enclosure you would put it in, the power that you would have, the vehicle. There's a lot of variables, but to keep it simple, if you don't want to, upgrade your electrical and kind of run a bigger amp than maybe you already have, I feel like the L7R is going to be something you can slide in there, and it's going to be loud. It's going to be really loud, and it's going to sound great. And the L7S can do around the same, but I feel like it's just going to take a little bit more power, but it might give you that sound that might sound a little bit better to you, maybe a little bit more kick, a little bit more of something there, not per se just louder, but just how the speaker sounds. Yes, there's a lot of variables with each speaker and how it's designed, the enclosure it's in, but you can't be telling me that, one speaker is going to sound different than the other. They're just they're designed different, and I just feel like the L7R, I mean, honestly, you see it in the quad box, they get really loud on not much power. I've done a 145 on 1000 watts with the quad box, and then a little bit louder with more power, but it's just, they don't need that much, and they get really loud, and the performance is there, and the price reflects that too, man. It's very competitive with other stuff, and it's square. L7R is very, if not the same as the L5, and I love my L515, man. And shoot, some very reputable people would say that the L5 may be better for competitions just because how it's designed than the L7. I don't know. That's just what I hear. That's what I see. I see great numbers from their lower L7, the R or the 5. I don't know, man. Which one would it depends the amp. If you got a lot of power, you can go with the S, but experiment. I would go with the L7R, and if you're happy with that, you don't have to go and buy another sub, rather than buying the L7S, the more expensive one, and being like, man, I probably could have got away with an L7R. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so I'm going to catch up on the comments here in a minute. Expectations. Realistic expectations. This cannot be stressed enough. Expect less, receive more. Keep that bar low. If you go in there knowing that you got this 2000 RMS amp and 212s that are 1000 RMS a piece, and you think you're going to do a 50, or you're going to be super loud, you can think that, but don't take it to the bank, man. And you go and play it, and maybe it just wasn't in the best enclosure, or your electrical's not good enough, and it just doesn't sound good. And then you're like, man, this is junk. I should have bought something else. I should have bought this one with 2000 RMS and this and that. And it's just, go into things with a clear mind of just, okay, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to throw it in, and whatever we get is what we get. And if it just doesn't sound that good, then that means you need more. Baba needs more. We all want more. And I feel like, that's kind of what I run into too. And that's why I walk what I speak, man, and it's like, I need more in the quad box to keep up with that quad box rather than trying to dial things in. I need more speakers, more power for the mids and highs. You need more. and I'm trying to expect too much out of what I have, and that's the problem. And that's where you have to think about, okay, do I need to change this or do this, rather than, you know, saying this stuff is crap, you know, because anybody's going to think like that. That's just human nature, and it happens, man. So if you go in walking thinking about, all right, yep, this will do all right, you know, you keep your bar where it should be, you know, just because it has a big surround and a big motor, don't think you're doing hair tricks right away, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And, you know, just talk again. We go back to the plan. We go back to, you know, just cheap, expensive, not expensive stuff, and to learn and research. You know, this stuff all goes hand in hand with itself. You know, yes, electrical, but that goes in with being in the know, knowing your stuff, researching it, learning more than you should. You know, and I feel like that is so important, and people love to just skip that and go to a 50, you know? But hey, I'm not knocking on them. If that's what you want, and you just say, hey, I want to do this, and throw your money at it, and you keep your expectations realistic, you'll be fine. Again, keep your expectations within reason. And then if you go in there thinking, oh, this is junk, and then maybe you might want to take a step back and do some research. You know, again, this stuff all goes hand in hand, man. It really does. It really does. Yes, DK is making it rain. I told you guys, as soon as we get that drizzle, and then the day comes in with the lightning, you know, and then you start hearing some thunder. Then you get scared. The importance of good connections. Oh my God, I was just talking about that this weekend, man. And you know, it's just one-on-one stuff, connections. And, you know, just how electrical things need to be ran securely. You know, if you don't have a good connection, you're going to build up resistance. And we all know what happens when you build up resistance. To make the same voltage, to make the same whatever, the current goes up. It has to. There's no other parameter. Voltage, current, resistance. Resistance goes up, voltage stays the same, current has to go up to provide the same amount of power. So that's why fuses will blow and melt and just stuff like that from a loose connection. And then it's like, well, why did my fuse blow? I'm not even pulling 80 amps. I am only pulling 50 amps. Well, when you had higher resistance there, that current went up. And that's why that fuse blew. And I ran into that in the beginning, you know, back in the day, Walmart wire kits, fuses, 80 fuse, 100 amp fuse, and 4-gauge wire. I switched up to another amp that was maybe doing 200 more watts, but it was way less efficient compared to the Kenwood. And it was just pulling a lot of current, you know, and I'm like, man, this thing is just melting fuses but not blowing them. And that was just because I'm getting really close to that limit of what that wire can handle. If I would have put a 0-gauge wire on there, same amp of fuse, less resistance in the wire because it's thicker for the distance. Less current needed. You know, there's a what's the word? I was just thought of it last night. I'm like, do not forget that word. But like pretty much of, you know, how much more wire you go, it's just not going to make a difference at some point. You know, your voltage is going to have, you know, so much power going through, your resistance is only going to be so low, and you're going to make that amount of current no matter what. Now I feel like there is some limitations on that as well, but honestly, you know, if you just run the right size wire, you'll be good, man. You'll be good. But then again, length. I was talking to Bubba for about 2 hours last night, and he has a lithium battery up front and no battery in the back. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, I don't like that just because the amplifier is the one pulling all the power, and it has to travel all the way from the front of the truck to the back. So it's a truck, so it's not as a long run. So it's better, but still, I love having that battery close because that's where the current is being demanded from the amplifier. And that if you have something in between there to buffer that between the alternator, yes, there's that battery between the alternator, but that's through your car, and it's a longer run. Battery to battery, there's less current being drawn and demanded just because how batteries work. You know, they're only going to release so much, but an amplifier is going to be like, hey man, give me all this, and then the battery's like, sure, you know. So there's a little bit of a difference there, where batteries, I feel, in my opinion, they're safer to have one in the back, one in the front, just so that long run, front to back, isn't having a lot of current being drawn through it. Now, is it going to be that much of a difference without that rear battery at some point? No, because then your alternator is only going to be able to push out so much current, and your amplifier is just, there's limits to everything. But in your average system, I love putting a battery in the rear just as a buffer, man. I've gotten away with a lot of things by not by having a battery in the rear and undersized power wire front to back. How does that make sense? It's because battery chemistry, man. It's different than an amplifier demanding it. The batteries are just kind of balancing each other out rather than an amplifier demanding power now. It's just that's how I see it, man. Appreciate you guys here. We got John K. Thank you for tuning in. Raspberry Pi is very good. Larry Keller, thank you for tuning in, man, for the first time in 35 years of buying and installing car systems. I'm planning a system for a single 10-inch woofer. The L7X will be my only sub, and guess what? I'll be happier for it. I love single sub setups just because it shows that you can be loud and it's just one driver. It's the coolest thing, man. It really is. And, man, that's awesome. Gotta let me know. I'm excited to see that. Thank you for tuning in, Larry. All right, let me scroll down here on the comments, and then we're going to go to the final-ish point of the top 5 most important things to know in car audio. And I feel like, yes, they're general, but man, they are important. If you go and watch this video, it's like, okay, maybe I do need to research a little bit. Maybe I do need to experiment a little bit. And just stuff like that, If you can get an SPL lab, that's the only tool you ever need, man. Jay Lee, appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Got RGA up in here. Got to throw up RGA's comment. Pawn shop after Christmas are a good place to store cheap stuff to beat on. The more you know. Absolutely, man. If you can get something secondhand, especially when you're on a super budget and you might not know everything about car audio, where to set your gain, and maybe your friend that can help you out isn't always around. Go with the budget secondhand stuff. Now, with that being said, is a whole nother subject of how to make sure that equipment you're buying secondhand is good. I thought that was a good topic for another show and stuff like that, man, because, yeah, there's some people out there that will sell you junk. One, they might not know, which usually isn't the case, and then they know, and they're just trying to sell it to you and get rid of it and get their money back or get a portion of it back, and it's a shame. But you're right, man, that's the way to do it. And pawn shops can help out. They're a little bit pricier compared to Facebook Marketplace, but you'll get something that works. And usually they have some type of return policy. And that's the way to go, just because. So if you mess up, you're good. And then whenever you plan, or you already plan, you do your experience, or I'm getting lost here. You do your research, you experiment with the small stuff, and then you start planning for the bigger stuff, and it's just, you kind of put it all together like a puzzle. Appreciate you tuning in, RGA. Okay. What's going on, Justin? Thank you for tuning in. We got 50 people in here tonight. Again, make sure you enter the contest. I'm going to post it down here again. Kicker.com/umweekly. You can actually enter. It's the same website, so if you just keep it in your browser, save it under your home page, and just click it. Every time we go live here, one less thing you got to do. And enter at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, every Tuesday. Easy peasy. All right, Drewsco Precision Sound. I'm still working on being windy. Hey, you know what, man? That comes down to just experiment. Learn what your woofers are liking with your enclosure, with your vehicle, and what you're willing to give up. I achieved windiness the easiest by just building large, and using the vehicle as a loaded horn, per se, of just how that stuff works, man. And it's a little bit easier when it's not, quote, a wall. You get a little bit more extension on the low note just because of how physics work. So that was in my favor, but that's why a lot of people run 6 orders and they do a reverse a negative 6 order where the ported side is, or the first ported side is larger than the second. And, that's how a lot of people get really windy in smaller enclosures per se for a 6 order. But, then you really sacrifice a lot of bandwidth. Got a super chat from none other. Well, I'm really far behind. Super sticker, even better, a super sticker from Baba. Appreciate you tuning in, Baba. I know you were saying your super chats weren't working on your phone where you couldn't type it in. I'm sorry about that, man. Thank you for hanging out with me for about 2 hours last night on the phone. We got to talk about a lot of things and figured out some, some rigged ways to get things working. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. And the most important of them all, well, this way. Run what you enjoy. What sounds good to you is the most important thing. Okay? Because this is so common where people either get deterred by someone else's comments, and 9 chances out of 10, it's people on the internet, the same people helping us to learn, are the people telling us we're wrong and our brand is bad. And it's sad because usually when you're out in public, people, they're a little bit different. They're not so brand bashy or whatever it is. Oh, your system this, your system that. Usually they're always nice. Your system sounds great, man. I can hear all 10% THD. Like they're all kind of, it's different. So, but again, run what you like, Then you get into the things of sound quality. Do you want an SQ system or do you want something that just sounds good? I feel like it's a silver lining of what sounds good to you and someone else, because we all have different ears. Our ears have a tuning frequency. Our ears are shaped differently. If you know anything about ports, that makes a difference. And I'm sure there's a lot more variables than just that alone, of just what you are expecting from your system, your expectations. If your expectations are really high and it's not going to sound good to you then, because you have your expectations high because you've seen some dude on YouTube doing hair tricks. Hair tricks aren't all what they're meant up to be, man. It's great. And if you have enough woofers, it just kind of happens no matter what. But, to play that low stuff, trust me, I love it. I play down to 12 hertz, but it gets kind of old after a while too. I like a little bit of everything. So you kind of have to look at things like, what do you like? What do you want in the system? I wanted the hair tricks. Oh boy, I got them. Let me tell you. But again, it's like, then I love the quad box. Yes, I could tune it maybe a little bit different to get a little bit more low end extension or whatever the situation is. Of what person wants to hear what in their car. It might be different, but at the end of the day, it's what you enjoy. This box, you just buy it. You don't have to do nothing, man. Just throw it in your car, and it sounds great, and it just, if that sounds good to you, then that's all that matters, man. That's really all that matters. If it sounds good to you, because you're the one driving it, you're starting the car, you're turning the radio on. If it gives you a little bit of goosebumps, it might not pop up, but if it makes you feel good, then you got a system that sounds good to you, and that's what matters, man. That's what really matters. We got Fee Mobile Solutions Sound. What's going on, Phil? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Get Sums here, late to the party. Good evening, fellas. You're late, but you're here. Thank you for tuning in, man. We got V13. Thank you for tuning in. Joseph Baring, thank you for tuning in, bud. And you have the anti-base clan that just say bad stuff, fake people. Yeah, with a lot of people that just don't like what we do, we get that stereotype of, being bad. Oh man, he's got them boom booms in the back of the car. He's up to no good. Trust me. I know. And it's like, what? Total harmonic distortion. And that's just pretty much your clipping of your amplifier, literally. From Kicker Club here, who was that? Ray Tyler. Thank you for tuning in, man. Part of the Team SB Loud group chat. But yeah, THD, just clipping, total harmonic distortion of the signal that is being produced from the amplifier, source, yada yada. And usually when you see 1% or up to clipping, that's 1%, 10%, depending how they judge that. But 1% THD is clipping, technically. So you keep it under that, and you're good. But a lot of people clip and they don't even realize. They're like, my gains are set. I never smell coil. Might be still clipping, but it's how much you clip. What you're clipping on with how much power you got makes a difference. How much heat. So, is it bad? No. Some people like older traditional style amplifiers because there's distortion. Not clipping, but just distortion from the waves being mashed together. Baba, if you're watching, like that warm sound that I was talking about. Like that. Literally like that. And, that's why some people are like, oh, A, B is better than D, and D will never keep up with A and B, and it's just, nitpicking a little bit. But with older amps, tube amps, stuff like that, absolutely. BDCP T1000 is a beast. I love Rockford Fosgate stuff, and rest in peace, Mr. Fosgate, man. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Thank you for tuning in, Omar. All right. And I have one other thing here. Other things to mention. Let me scroll up on my comments here so that I don't miss anything crazy. Sound is distortion anyways. Absolutely. What's a cheater amp? Get to that. Other things to mention. Space available. This is back to the plan of mapping it out. If you got a trunk and you're trying to fit an 18 in there, don't do it. I mean, you can, but you might not have much space available. So, and then the electrical needs. This wasn't in my top 5 because it's kind of niche to be a top 5. Just your electrical, man. Make sure your electrical is good, which is so important, but does not work for every system because some systems you don't need to upgrade the electrical. Should you? Absolutely. Anytime you're adding something to a stock vehicle that is not designed to be with the supporting electrical of what's built in the car, the alternator and the battery, you should always upgrade that just because. Do you always need to? No, not at all. How much power can I run on stock electrical? 800 RMS. You go any more than that, good luck. Good luck. And it just, you're going to run into problems, and it depends the vehicle and what you're doing. But again, man, electrical is very important, but it doesn't always have to come down to that until you start getting into that threshold of that guy that has that 2000 watt RMS amp and, 1000 RMS subs, 2L715s. Might need some electrical for that, so again, but, and another thing here, playability and reliability, price and budget. Playability is kind of where I was going into other things of, band pass and stuff like that, of what kind of music you're playing. You got bandwidth, you got efficiency, and then you're going to have one more than the other or balance. It's a seesaw, it goes one way or the other. It's just, you don't get both. So again, though, with playability, there's more than just band pass. Oh, I can play 20 hertz to 100 hertz and it's, the roll-off's nice and slow, but how good are the transients? How good is that punch? What does it really sound like? Is it accurate? And there's so many variables with that where you can have a well-rounded, balanced system, but it might not have good transients because in order to have that large band pass, the bandwidth, you have to give up some accuracy in the enclosure because it's so large or whatever the deal is. And then reliability, and I just feel like it's so important. Reliability, some people don't need to pay for reliability because they're careful. So you might be paying for something that you per se might not need. But I like to sleep soundly at night, not worry about if my amp's going to just randomly, one of the capacitors just let loose and then my shag's on fire. That doesn't always happen, but reliability is a darn thing, and reliability can be outweighed by a good warranty program where no matter how many times it breaks, you can return it and then it kind of equals itself out, but that depends the user. How many times do you want to return it? Not that many. You know, shipping's a pain in the butt if you don't have a mailbox. I have a mailbox, but I can't send nothing out. I have to go to the post office. Pain in the butt. So to return something, it's like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that. Can't just put it in the mailbox and just be on my way. But, you know, not everyone's taking a quad box by the mailbox, so I get it. But quad box ain't going to break neither, you know, unless you really put a lot of power to it. I've got mine a little stinky. Yeah, she keeps on beating, man. Really good quality with the stuff like that. If you play within reason, man, know your limits. Know your limits. But again, reliability is so important when you need it, when you want it. You can cut some corners. Again, now price and budget, we're back down to the money, the cutting corners. How much is it worth it to pay more for what you're trying to do? If you're going back to the experience thing, then maybe a more budget kind of build is better for you, where you don't need that reliability because you may not have that for very long. And I feel like that is so important. I feel like that is so important because if you go all in, you know, it's like gambling. You go all in, you better win. If not, you got nothing, you know. And then you get upset because you wasted all your money. Your build sounds like crap, and you're just stuck. You're stuck, and you're trying to sell something, and nothing's worth what you paid for it. It's not. Secondhand, I don't pay over 50%. It's used, man. It's used. I'll go buy new if I'm going to be paying more than that, because I want a warranty. I want, you know, I want to pull the saran wrap or whatever it is and get that feeling and get the box cutter and, you know, do the whole unboxing. New. I'll pay for that. But man, it really does come down to price, budget, reliability, and I feel like that's performance. Yeah, but performance can be kind of skewed. Performance of what? Sound quality, SPL, reliability. Like I don't, you know. So what is it? But either way, man, I feel like those are other things to mention. I gotta move that. Other things to mention. I'll pretend it's over here. Other things to mention. That's too far. There we go. But you know, just a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. Awesome. That is it. Thank you guys for watching. See you next week. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see here. I'm behind on the comments. Your attention span, it's very bad. Let's see here. The Magooster. Thank you for tuning in. It's probably Troy or somebody. For some reason, the comments are not working on... Yes, Troy. Love you, buddy. Yeah, the attention span is bad. It's a lot of information to go over, you know, and it's just trying to give it out in order and go backwards at the same time, because all of these tie together. They really, really do. Let me scroll down on some of the comments here. Take a sip while I'm looking. Jay Lee, I don't make YouTube videos, but what platforms do you guys share your car audio projects on? Well, be a little biased, but my own personal profile and Kicker Club, and we got a Discord. Got a couple Discords, and I mean, you know, I feel like it depends your build. You know, if you got a Scar build, go to the Scar crew. You know, you can go to generic pages like Basehead Life, I just want to bang harder, Basehead's on a budget, Basehead's on a real low budget. You know, there's a bunch of them. So it all depends, man, and what kind of feedback you want to get. If you're looking for likes and just someone to support you, you know, I would go with your brand's group, because there's pretty much a group for every brand out there. But if you're trying to get some maybe critiques, I would go with the common groups. Just because you're going to get more answers that way. You really are. All right, guys, we got about, I think, 10 more minutes left, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So make sure you guys enter. I'm going to drop it one more time. Kicker.com/UMweekly. All right, cool. Let me scroll down here a little bit. We got Mullen. What is going on, Mullen? Thank you for tuning in. Joseph, my rule of thumb, anything over 1800 watts RMS total equals mid-highs, base need to be upgraded, alt or other battery. You know, and that's a good rule of thumb. Honestly, it does come down to the build. It really does. But at the end of the day, you know, how low are you playing? If you're playing a little bit lower frequencies, majorly, you know, majorly, whatever, mostly, you know the thing. I noticed that you don't quite need as much mids and highs as you normally would, just because it's a lower frequency and it might be the same sound pressure level as whatever, but just because it's a lower frequency, it's easier to combat with rather than 50 hertz or 45 hertz. And I just feel like, you know, yes, SPL is sound pressure, but I wouldn't even say it's loudness. There's a difference, man. There is a difference. Like, I get it, a 145 at 20 hertz and a 145 at 30 hertz are going to be entirely different, but tell me that the 145 at 30 hertz would not kind of sound louder. You know, it just going to. So you can put a number on it, the 1800 watts and RMS, I believe that. Because you think about it, you're going to see 1000 watts to maybe 1800, not even. And that's where you're going to want to upgrade. 500 RMS, a lot of stock head units. Well, I wouldn't say stock, but aftermarket head units. You know, they got 15 watts RMS for the 4 channels that they have. It's enough, you know, and that's another thing with that Walmart build that I did. I just, I think 50 RMS going to the mids and highs when I only have 150 RMS going to the sub, it's kind of overkill. It really is. But absolutely, man, absolutely. All right, let's see. I'm going to scroll way back down here, see if I missed anything else. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We had almost 60 people in here. I think it bounced off 60, hit the rim, went back down to 50. But it's okay. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. And it's just cool to be able to talk to new people and kind of go over things with just, you know, the basics of car audio. And A to Z stuff, because this is stuff that we don't think about maybe after we were already in it for so long. You know, for the average person walking into this, you know, to be like, hey, you know, you need to do this. You just need to do a little bit of research on your own. Here's some links. Keep following it to the next one. And you know, you can learn that way, and also with the experiment on your own. You know, grab some speakers at Walmart, throw them in a box. Sounds like crap, try another box or build your own box, you know, and try with that with cheaper equipment. So then you can learn things with the research that you do alongside that to try different things. And that's why the tools that we have available between the SPL lab, all these, you know, there's so much with just box building apps or whatever, you know, WinZip and all that kind of stuff. And the technology and the ability to reach out to people that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years, you know, and to be able to get their kind of information, it's priceless, man. It really is. So you guys, you want to get loud, you want to do it right, you guys can do it. No one's holding you back but yourself. But I'm here to help. Get you on your feet and watch you fly away. And I'm like, bye, birdie. I got a text message today. My buddy down the street wants to do a giant build. And I'm like, what? God. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you again for tuning in, man. Nice seeing you again, man. And computer's good. It's doing great, man. It's running good. It's just, you know, a few minor bugs we had to tweak out with it. And, you know, just it's like moving your house, you know, and moving everything. And, man, when I move, God, I do not want to move all 12 fish tanks. You know, my average is like 40 gallon. So it's not going to be fun. Neither was this, but we're 95% of the way there. I do want to do a show next time. I should be ready. I want to do one for Kicking It with Andy of how to set your gain, but more than one way. Kind of what Kicker did a while back. But I got the SPL lab, not a no-scope. And I'm going to show you and tell you why you need to buy one. And I do not get paid from them, but you need to buy one. It is the ultimate tool that you will need. I'm telling you guys. O-scopes are nice, but they're hard to work. They really are. Got one from Twitch. This is awesome. Someone new. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Hunos, good night, dude. You seem like you know a lot about car audio and audio in general, but would you consider talking about other areas of the car, even though you may not be inclined in those areas? Absolutely, man. I mean, usually Fridays, we talk about anything, A to Z. We try to keep a car audio. But, you know, if there's anything that I can help you out with on the side, and we got a lot of people hanging out in the chat, check us out on YouTube. That's where a lot of us are commenting. Check us out there, and we'd be happy to help you. If not, I can answer some things within reason, man. You know, I'm not a genius, but I got you, buddy. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's cool to see we got someone new other than Double E watching from Twitch. That is awesome. Goal achieved. There's Double E. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's see here. Still got 5 more minutes to enter. 4 minutes, correction. 4 minutes to enter the contest. All right, where was I at? This is for Kevin Lautner. Sherlinda, thank you for tuning in, representing while Kevin is bedded down in Omaha for work. Tell him I said hi. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys so much. And, Army. Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Omaha. Just like Peyton Manning, right? I talk about football too. You know, I mean, usually Fridays we go, you know, left and right. We talk about all different stuff. But Tuesdays, we try to keep it a little bit more car audio. Just a little bit. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you, man. Well, I got to turn that off. It's a little too much. $20 super chat. Little love on behalf of everyone. Thank you so much, Dave. You guys, Dave is like poking at the storm cloud. He's trying to get it to burst. Appreciate you so much, man. And again, guys, smash the like. And it's just so cool to have this community in here that we do, man. You know, it may not be 1,000 people watching me, but every single person in here, we all pretty much know each other. And it's awesome that we get to do this stuff and hang out Tuesday and Friday every week. I got an itch. Got an itch. Sony Explode. Yes, I like me some Sonys. Have a good one, man. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that you're here. It's cool. I'm not a big Twitch guy. I'm not a Twitcher. Twitch streamer. Let's see here. Very new to Twitch. Yes, you need to get on the Discord. Go to my community tab. I have it in there in the About section. Go there. And then, if not, these guys will send you a link to the 14.4 talk and the 10.9. We got 3 of them. Pick your poison. I say D, all above. SPL Lab versus DD1. I'm picking DD1 all day. Okay, it's a show. I'm telling you. I got the DD1 too. I'm telling you. They lying to you. Nicholas, thank you for tuning in from Facebook. It's awesome, man. We had a lot of people in here tonight, bouncing up and down. We got a lot of new faces, and that's the cool thing about it. Again, guys, I think the contest. Oh, we got 74 seconds. Oh, check this out. Check this fancy stuff out. Boom, 65 seconds. Go enter now. Check it out. Got a cool little fancy. Yeah, it looks good. Thank you, Bubba and SJC and Cornut. We did a lot of work to get this computer running, and it seems like it's good for now, but we got one final piece to add to the concoction to make her run really, really good. But actually, absolutely, guys, thank you so much, and yeah, go enter as soon as you can. Let me go check on the comments here. If you guys have any questions or maybe other things about car audio that just, that people need to know, that people need to know in the 101s. Yes, connections, electrical, but I feel like the other ones with planning and experimenting and knowledge of just being in the know, researching your product and stuff along those lines of just, and then obviously everything comes down the road with price, budget, reliability after you've done your experimental stuff and your research and your planning, you know, and it all goes together. It really does all go together. You know, I had a hard time thinking of a subject this week because I have 2 other ones that I want to do that are highly intensive, but I'm not ready yet. So I wanted to have something for this week, and there were some other ones, but I'm like, man, let's go back to the basics because everyone forgets the basics, man. Their amp shuts off, and then they're like, man, I don't know what the heck is going on, man. And here it's because their head unit's off. They didn't even check to see if their head unit was off because it's the fuse in the back of the head unit, and then they're thinking it's their whole, you know, whatever. And it's because, you know, just one thing. And you got to start at the beginning and check your connections. Cannot stress enough. Not. All right. Awesome. Listening to you while I build an enclosure for 2 L715s. What's going on, Doug? Thank you for tuning in. I just wish StreamYard would just throw up the names for groups already. It's really being a pain in my butt. All right. Let me scroll down. Living Loud with yes. Oh. What's going on, Mike? Thank you for tuning in, stopping in to say hi. Appreciate you, man. I hope you enter tonight. Everyone needs to enter. Even if you don't watch, you can enter. You know, you can. You can. I didn't say that, but you can. Actually, no, you got to watch for at least 5 minutes, like, comment, and subscribe, and then you can win. Otherwise, no. I'm just kidding. Appreciate you guys. Ooh. No, the Tau Small parameters have not been released for the Solo X yet. And on that note, hopefully they'll be here January, February. I need to get an update. Bill, if you're watching, Ernie, somebody watching, message me. I need an update for myself. So, and then depending, you know, of what I can say and what I can't say. But as we know, Q1 23, it'll be here. Thank you, Miss Lautner. Appreciate you. Guys are another doling duo. Appreciate you guys so much. You and Kevin both. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys are nuts, man. It's crazy. Here I'm just talking about car audio. And, you know, it's humbling, you know, because it's just, you know, I've been doing this all my life, it feels like, you know, and I've just kind of been, you know, just that random guy just doing it, you know, and I just happen to like Kicker and kind of went kind of crazy with the Kicker. But, you know, it's a good brand. So, blessed, truly. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Raccoons. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. You just gotta look at it. Can't do it. Oh, man. Too late. That slipped. All right, Dennis the Menace. I entered, but I never win anything because it's rigged. You know, that's the unfortunate fact. But yes, it is rigged, and it is too late to enter. Speaking of which, so without further ado, let's get this going, huh? Let's see how this loads with the new computer. I gotta turn my background music off. How's it sounding, guys? Is it too loud, too quiet? What do you guys think? Andy, how important is Deadener? I'll let you know in a few days. I might have cracked the side of my Pilot from the quad box. I cannot confirm nor deny yet. I need to know more information. Oh. Let's see here. Okay, that's fine. Are you guys hearing any music? Let me know. Getting so confused on this stuff recently here. All right. Maybe. how... Music volume is good below your voice. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Some reason my Elgato, yeah, the software is just being weird. Anyway, back to what I gotta do. So, yeah, I can see your guys' comments here, so... Music is playing. Thank you, Mom. New computer stuff, man. Goodness gracious. It's just with the software that I got, it's like extra fancy. And then switching everything, adding stuff, the ATM Mini, confusing, the Elgato and the computer. 38 people entered. That was the same amount as last week. So I know we had a few people watching tonight. So if you entered, or if you didn't enter and you're new watching, make sure you enter next week on the Unmasked show, next Tuesday, 7:30 Central. I entered 18 times. That's one way to do it. Let's see here. 3% odds. I mean, the odds are kind of in your favor on this show. There's less people that enter here. Obviously, I'm not Kicker, so there's a few less here. Better odds. All right, let me get to work. Usually, it's Ernie. Well, usually it's Bill Frog and Jeremy, but mostly Bill Frog kind of going after this. And then Ernie's running the switchboard. And Jeremy's usually running the comment section. You know, throwing up comments, starring comments, stuff like that. And here I'm kind of doing it all by myself here. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's not that bad. There's just a few things you got to run around and do, which isn't terrible. It's not. It's just kind of doing both. You know what I mean? Show, multitasking, not the best. Oh no. We can't let that guy. Nope. Nope. Ah, man. You guys are really trying to rig this. I'm seeing all these red flags popping up here. Something with 10.9 volts is better than 14.4, and it's like coming up as like a, I don't even know, like a virus. Get away. Bad. Bad, bad. What's going on here? Alright. Cool. Just bear with me, folks. The comments. 12 by 30. What is 12 by 30? I like this music. It's really hard to find music that's not copyright. And it's good. All right, so almost there. I know a couple of these guys here. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, I should, you know, they're watching my show, but still, you know, there's people that watch, they don't say nothing, but they're starting to say stuff now. It's pretty cool. Oh, okay. Okay. Riggedy rig. Okay. 1, a 2, a 3. How many licks does it take to get the center of the coil? The world may never know. Oh! When you think you knew a guy. Ah. man. We got goats too. One time for Bobby B. Well, whenever we see Bobby, we just we just keep on moving. Poor Bobby. I don't know what he did to them. It just says don't let Bobby win here. I don't know. Something about 14.4. I don't know what that is exactly. Okay. Come on. Come on. Aha! Okay. Awesome. Now, will I be able to... No, I'm not going to be able to see comments. Are there any sounds off in the winter local to you, Andy? No, but there are some local car shows that have been happening around the area. At, what was it? Both Walmarts around me, Irwin, Greensburg, and North Huntington Car Show. Me, no. My first year of Team SP Loud, I did it every week for over a year, including the winter. One time I had one person come. It was just too cold. It was too cold. It was way too cold. All right, let me get some of this stuff done. Not gonna be able to see your comments for like 2 minutes here. Just bear with me here. Okay, so third place, we gotta type this stuff in. It's not like automatic or nothing. Okay, and yeah, Homer Simpson lives in Springfield, huh? I mean, there's a few Springfields. I know that. All right. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. M-R-E. Oh, I'm messing that all up. Okay. Yeah. And can't let 25 and deviant. Oh, what did I do? Oh, what did I do? I pressed something. F12. Don't press F12. Oh man, I almost had a heart attack. I started seeing code. Felt like the Matrix. Kind of like that. All right, so one more to go. Oh, we got one from Canada. So if you're from Canada and you're watching, you have pretty good chances of winning. I don't know how many people are watching from Canada. There might be a few, but the odds are in your favor. Okay. I wish I could have the comments over here and kind of do that, where the comments I can see them, and then also write out the list. You know what I could almost do? Instead of doing the underneath here, I could do something else, but either way, we'll figure it out. All right, let me check these comments. I'm gonna make you guys wait for a second. Restart the whole giveaway. We can't restart it. It's already restarted because it's rigged, you know. All right, Andy, always trolling. Always, man. Always. Always. It's because I know you guys are listening. They're gonna be like, oh no, what'd he say? Wait, what? What? No way. And Bobby, See, I didn't enter, it wouldn't let me. See, we got him permabanned. Can't enter. All right, so let's do this giveaway. I'm making you guys wait long enough. For third place, the EB 400s. Right here, waterproof. These things are just awesome. You run, you play. They're earbuds in your ear and they're not going to fall out. Third place gets that. And the Kicker Koozies, the Unmasked official t-shirt. Third place goes to Don W. from Springfield, Oregon. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Congratulations. You will enjoy those. You will get an email from Bill and get your size shirt and get going and get your prize to your door. Second place, the Tabor 2s. Whoa, try not to knock the computer over, Andy. Tabor 2s right there. Boop, boop, boop. Non-noise canceling, but man, these are the best over-the-ear headphones for under $100, and they are great. They are great. I use them for work every day. Second place goes to, of course, Kicker Koozie and the t-shirt. Second place goes to John P. in Los Angeles. Materai, man, I don't know how to pronounce that. But John, your email's Kicker Car. I think it's the Kicker Car guy and YouTube here that watches me. Congratulations, man. Thank you for watching, and congratulations on winning. You're gonna enjoy those Tabor 2s. So, first place, the Cush NCs, the t-shirt, the koozie. First place, Glenn M. from Vancouver, Canada. We have a winner from Canada. Congratulations, man. You're gonna love those Cush NCs. There's not many left. I believe they're end of life. So the ones that you're getting, hold on to them forever, man. And I still got mine from almost 4 years ago. Still running. They are great, beautiful, love them, loving. I just love them. I was gonna say loving sound, or they sound lovely. I don't know. I got tongue-tied on that one. Thank you guys for watching, and congratulations. And yes, it's rigged. 100% Mike. It is always rigged. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be any fun. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Congratulations. Thank you, William. Rigged again. Rigged again. It's like I enter every week. I know. I have never won yet either. And I've been watching Unmasked from day one, and I do this, and I gave up after like 14 weeks. I'm like, I'm done. I ain't gonna win. Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate you tuning in, hanging out till the end. Maybe we'll have to rig it for you next time so you win. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys here. Everybody, tune in. You guys are awesome. Bubba, thank you. Dennis the Menace, man, you guys are awesome. All hanging out till the end. All right, guys, man, it's been awesome, and I feel like we had an awesome show. Got to give away some really cool gear, and absolutely, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. You know, it was a good show, and it was a lot to unpack, and there's still more you can talk about. And I started this, and, you know, yeah, it's hard to think of different subjects, but I can never stop talking about car audio. You can't stop me. All right, guys, it is the Unmasked show, the Kickin' It with Andy Unmasked, every other Tuesday show, Kickin' It with Andy show, episode 11. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're cool enough, I'll see you at the Caboose. Thank you, guys, and I will see you Friday, and as always, stay living loud.
Kickin' It with Andy is going to be on every other Tuesday. Kickin' It with Andy. Kickin' It with Andy.
I see you dancing, 25. I see you.
Kicking it with Andy.
Cornut is coming in early. He is coming in early, but I'm just, oh, this thing's frozen. What the heck? It's frozen. I'm over here trying to look up, yeah, what the heck is going on here? Technical difficulties, huh? Oh, yeah. No bueno. That's the ATM Mini for you. Something's going on. Thank you so much, Cornut. Appreciate you guys. Michael Topoli's trying to come in early. Caboose winning this time. He says, I take it, but then Bubba says nothing. And he takes it with $20 super chat. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. And we are done. See you guys Friday. Be easy. Stay living loud.